I'm pulling an old one off the shelf and we're going to take a look at it, and I think you're going to love it. Don't go anywhere.
What is this?
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Lame the Video Gamer. My name is Scott Galaxy. It's been a while since I've done a video, but today I thought I'd do something fun. Not that I don't normally do something fun, but I'm going to do something that's fun to me on a personal level because it involves pulling off an old game, dusting it off, and playing it and showing you guys who may or may not know what it is. Or even the system that it gets played on. But it's a classic, and I have to show you, today's game is going to be Jungle Hunt. Now this game was a very, very popular game in the arcades back in the early 80s. It was ported to pretty much every system possible, including the one I'm going to show you today, which is on the ColecoVision. So I have it nice and boxed up here. Let's take a look at the box real quick. You're gonna spend a pretty penny on this. I've looked at some old charting, price charting, for example, says that a complete in-box copy, which this is, will cost you around $55 or something like that. That is not true. That is not true. Actually, a kind of a single without box copy of this game is probably going to cost you around that price, around $55, just for the cartridge itself. To find a really good complete copy with the manual, with the cartridge, everything looks great, mint condition, you're gonna be paying in the hundreds. But is it worth it? I don't know. Here's a look at the cartridge itself. And you'll notice this little dude right here. He went through some changes. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And even the name itself went through a couple of changes. But again, we'll get to that. But this is an Atari Soft game. It was, like I said, it was a classic. And when this came to the ColecoVision, I jumped on it right away. This is again in the mid to early 80s that we got this, but the arcade itself was, I believe, the #1 arcade game for a long time, and for good reason, as you'll soon see here. So let's go pop it in, take a look at it, and you guys can make the judgment for yourself. Is it a great game? We'll see. So first and foremost, I am capturing this straight from my ColecoVision. It has been modified so that I can have composite cables in it instead of the RF cable. So let's talk about this game. Now, I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up in the 80s, born in the 70s, and I went to arcades a lot. It was our thing. And Jungle Hunt was one of those games that we used to play all the time. And so when it came to ColecoVision, we went out and grabbed it right away. It was one of those games that you just kind of had to have. And it didn't really disappoint. You can see here that it's pretty close. I mean, as far as ports go for the early 80s, this is a pretty good port. At any rate, this one has 4 separate screens, which is, you know, pretty standard for the day. You know, Donkey Kong, I think, only has 3. I think Donkey Kong Jr. only has 3 different stages in it. So the fact that this one has 4 is actually, you know, we were pretty happy back in the day. Doesn't seem like much in today's world, but this was a big deal. Now, I alluded to earlier that the guy looks different and the name is different. And that's because it was originally called Jungle King, and the people who owned the rights to Tarzan I thought that the dude looked a lot like Tarzan. So he did used to have a kind of Tarzan look to him, and they had to change it, and they gave him a hat, and they gave him, you know, some clothes, etc., to change up the look, and then they changed the name to Jungle Hunt. And like most games that were back in the day, you know, there is no ending to this game. You just continue to go and go and go. And it's all about who's going to get the highest score, who's going to get the furthest, how many stages can you go. But it'll just keep repeating and repeating and repeating and get more difficult and more difficult and more difficult. And clearly I haven't played this game in a little while. I don't know how to get past this monkey. I cannot get past this monkey, but it is one of my favorite games. And as I said, it's not going to be cheap to get if you are looking to buy this game. If you're a collector, again, you're probably going to end up paying, especially if you want a complete in box, you're going to be paying in the hundreds somewhere for this game. And if it's in good shape, like mine is, then yeah, you're going to be paying at least 100, couple hundred, possibly even 300 for this game. Now, if you are not a collector and you don't care and you just want to play the game, you can certainly do that on other systems. I believe you can get it from Microsoft Windows. I think it was also available on PlayStation 2 and Xbox. The name escapes me. It's Taito Legends is the game, I believe. And it's probably a perfect port from the arcade. Definitely go check out Taito Legends if you have a PlayStation 2, an Xbox, or have access to Microsoft Windows. I do not have any other port of this game, mainly because I just love this one. But it is available, like I said, on a number of different platforms. It's available on the Apple II, if you still do that, the Atari 2600, the 5200, obviously ColecoVision. If you have a Commodore 64, you can find it. I have a VIC-20. I could probably get it on the VIC-20 myself. But those are a lot of options if you're a collector and you collect those old consoles and computers. My recommendation is definitely ColecoVision, especially if you're thinking about getting it on the Atari 2600. That was a bit of a disappointment. This is a huge upgrade to that. But there you go. That is Jungle Hunt. It's one of my favorite games of all time. When I was a kid, like I said, I grew up with this. So for me, this was a no-brainer, and it really still has personal value to me. So for me to have this game means a lot. And so let me know what you guys think. Is it worth the money? Is it worth the money? 50 to anywhere from 50 for just the cartridge to we're talking hundreds of dollars for the complete in-box version. Would you buy it? Is the gameplay great? Is it something you would play? Let me know in the comments. And before you go, please, if you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell so that you are notified of every video that I do from here on out. And you can watch them or not, you know, but hopefully you do. Until next time, I'm Scott Galaxy. I'm going to go play some more Jungle Hunt. See you guys.